Hi guys, so welcome back to Actor's Notebook. So this is gonna be part 2 to the MFA BFA kind of series. I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys. I actually already recorded this and I realized that I messed up massively with like just the sounds and what was going on in the moment. Yeah, so I'm re-recording this, so you guys are gonna get like the clean cut beautiful version because I already know exactly what I'm gonna say. So yes, and hopefully maybe I'll switch it up, we'll see. So basically this part is going to be about applications and the actual audition. So applications, first you have to apply to the school, of course, and then you have a separate application where you're applying for the acting program, where you're picking your date and time that you're going to do your audition. In that part you'll have your headshot resume sent into them, and you will also have of course your time and everything sent into them, what time you're available, and what day you're available. Now, a lot of people use Unifieds for their auditions. Unifieds is basically like this weekend in New York or LA, San Francisco, wherever the Unified is, where basically a whole bunch of colleges are there, and you can just go and book it all for that weekend so that you're not flying out to all these different colleges, and you can just do your audition for everything in that weekend, which is really cool and really great. MFAs and BFAs, of course, are different. For an MFA, you don't have to have necessarily an undergraduate degree. You don't have to have your undergraduate degree in theater, or it can be in anything. You can do a psychology, journalism degree, and then go and get your master's in acting, or you could not have a undergraduate degree at all, but you've been out of school for a certain amount of time. Normally you have to be like 21, you've been out of school for those many years, you don't have an undergraduate degree, but you can still get your master's in acting. So that's pretty cool. In those cases, you won't have to have like a regular kind of like application where you send in like your transcripts and everything like that, because the school doesn't need it. You weren't, oh, it's raining again. You weren't, when I filmed the last time it was raining, but whatever. So because you weren't in school, which doesn't matter, you won't have to send in any transcripts. Like, they don't need your high school transcripts or anything like that. For your BFA, of course, you need your high school transcripts. You'll do that whole application process that you would normally do for any college, for any school. So you do that, then you have your acting application, which I talked about. So you have to apply for the school first. So you do both of those things, and then you go to your audition. Either you go to Unifieds or you choose to go to the school. Either way, good good for you. Most Unifieds are during the winter. The New York Unifieds is going to be freezing cold, so be prepared. What you wear for your audition, of course, I did a whole video on auditions and what to wear, and you basically wear similar stuff to that. Wear a nice dress. You don't want to dress to the nines, but you want to be presentable and professional. Females do not wear character shoes, because oftentimes if you wear character shoes, they're assuming that you're in for a musical theater audition. Now, if you're in there for a musical theater audition, absolutely. But sometimes they'll have both of them going at once, and they'll be confused of if you're musical theater or if you're just going for regular acting. So don't wear those. Wear some nice heels, maybe they're low, or boots. If you're doing it in New York, it's all right to wear boots. But I suggest there'll be bathrooms there, so you can change into kind of like your audition wear, just because if it's like cold outside, or if you get really sweaty, if you're in LA or whatever, it's just nice to kind of put on those fresh clothes, get in your mindset, and be ready to rock it. It's also great so that when you leave, you change out of that, you change out of the whole mindset, and you're just ready to like be yourself again, let the nerves calm down, and you'll be good. So highly recommend those. Wear tights if you're in New York. That's completely fine if you wear tights to your audition. You just want to be as warm as possible. Last winter in New York, it was like below freezing. So just keep that in mind, especially if you never traveled before. So you can either go to Unifieds or you can go to the actual school and do the auditions. Whatever time or day you pick, fine. Unifieds, if you're doing Unifieds and you see a school that maybe you didn't apply for, oftentimes you can apply for it there, do the application for school, and then just do your audition there. If they don't have a wait, why not? Cast your net as wide as possible. However, I will say this, it does cost money for all of your auditions. And it does cost money for your applications. For MFAs, even if you're not applying for like the school, you're not paying for that, you're paying like $110 for your application to the ACT program. $90, the only one that I've ever had that was free was Brown. And that's because they are now tuition free for all MFA actors. So keep that in mind. That's really cool. Great, because you're not in debt. But for everything else, it's pretty much 110. So you're spending all that money and you're auditioning for 9 schools. You should audition from. You shouldn't audition. You don't, even if you have a top 3, don't only audition for 3. You should audition for about 9 or 10 schools. That's a lot of money that you're putting out there. So keep that in mind when you're in the Unifieds and you're like, oh, I can just jump on this school. Is that school worth it? Do your research first. Like I said in the previous vlog, do all of your research for your schools because you want to make sure that that's actually a school you're going to want to go to, that you're happy there, that you're growing as an artist in the way that you're hoping to grow. So you're there, you're at the audition, you go there, you sign in, you're there at your time, you're earlier. You should always show up at least like 15 minutes earlier. That's for any audition, just to let you guys know. Or some people will show up like an hour, 2 hours, 30 minutes early. But if you have a scheduled audition time, normally about 15 minutes, just because they're trying to get everyone else out there, there might not be room for you to sit down, just 15 minutes, you show up early, you sign yourself in, and you wait. You wait for them to call your name for your time. Now, if you're doing Unifieds or you're doing multiples auditions that day, you might want to tell them in advance that you're going to have another audition at whatever time. Because oftentimes, MFA, BFA, they run late. They just get caught up in the audition room. They're invested in people. They want to see if you're for this school or not. They want to see your artistry, and sometimes they'll be like, okay, let me see another monologue. That's why I say have 4 to 6 monologues, because they can always be like, let me see another one. Okay, let me see this one. Okay, wait, I've already seen this one today like 16 times. Can you show me another one? So be prepared for all of that, and because of that, they will run late. So just tell them ahead of time. I had to do that with one of my auditions. I had to tell them, hey, I'm gonna have to leave soon. And oftentimes they'll ask everyone else, is it okay if this person skips you? Most of the time people say yes. If another person has they're like, no, I really need to go, then they can go first. You can go next. It's easy. And so I had to do that actually because they were running late. And then I ran to my other audition and they were running like an hour behind. So sometimes it just works out. But I really suggest you just telling them in advance so that they know. So you go there, you wait for your time. Oftentimes there's a lot of nerves in the room, especially for BFAs because they're younger. You don't have as much experience normally, and this is pretty much life or death for you. You're like, I need to go to college, I want to follow my dreams. For MFAs, you kind of already follow your dreams. There's still tension because you're nervous, but it's more loose, also because for MFAs, some of the administration faculty will actually talk to you beforehand about their school. And that's nice because you get a sense of the faculty and you just feel comfortable with them by the end. So oftentimes that'll ease a lot of the stress. BFAs will do that too, but they just don't do it as in depth. And most of them don't do it, but if they do it, it's not as in depth as the MFAs are. They really take their time. So, which is another reason why it might be running behind. So, if you're going to if you're going to sit there and just, you know, wait, and you're letting your nerves rack up, you want to have a process, you know, something to relieve your stress, something to get you back in the zone. Remember that you've been working on this piece for a very long time. You know it in and out. It's perfect for you. You got this. You don't have to worry about that. So just listen to some Lizzo or whatever music you love. I'm really vibing with Lizzo right now. She puts me in a good mood. I'm gonna put her on to, you know, feel like myself, get happy and whatever. Whatever you love that makes you happy and relaxes you, put that on. Or feel free to talk to the actors around you. Some people hate that. Some people just want to get in the zone. Okay, fine. But there are other people that you can talk to, and you never know. You could be sitting next to someone who you're going to spend 4 years with. And that's also just good to meet new people. I love talking with actors when we're in the room because you just learn so much. So yeah, that's a good way to relieve stress and just kind of calm down. And then you go into the audition room. Sometimes they'll ask you questions beforehand. Maybe it's about your resume. If MFA, they really look at the resume more. BFA, they don't really. It's more like new talent. So BFA, they might ask you something about your essay. Or they'll just like, okay, whenever you're ready, or comment on your nerves and try and make you feel more comfortable because they can see the nerves. And then you'll do your monologues, maybe you'll do a song. And then afterwards, maybe they'll critique you, maybe they'll stop you halfway through and give you a critique and let you finish. Maybe they don't let you finish at all. Maybe they just want to see that one monologue. It doesn't matter. If they critique you or not, if you go through everything and they don't say a word and they just say thank you, that does not mean that they were not interested. You have absolutely no idea what's going on in their mind. You could be doing exactly what they want, and that's why they're not saying anything. Or sometimes they'll give you a correction. Sorry, my phone. Sometimes they'll give you a correction just to see if you're able to take that correction. So you never know. So finish what you're doing, whatever happens. Leave with your head held high and be proud of your work. Regardless of what happens, be proud of what you have done. You have worked so hard. And in that room, all that matters is that you're proud of what you've done, that you've put your best foot forward, and you are leaving knowing that you did your best work. And even if you don't feel like it's your best, you have no idea what they're thinking. They have no idea what your best work is. That to them could be spectacular. And anyway, after that, you'll get a callback, or maybe you won't. Or sometimes they'll give callbacks after the hour. Sometimes they'll tell you to come back at the end of the day, or they'll take you in for that hour and they'll have that callbacks. If you're doing an MFA, sometimes they'll bring you in for a callback. Sometimes it'll be 3 callbacks in that one day. And why you did that. And that's crazy. You'll stay there all night. So be prepared for that. But that was for an MFA. BFA, they don't keep you really that long. They'll do that callback for that BFA, and sometimes they'll ask you to come for a weekend callback, which is really nice. For MFAs, they'll pretty much always do that for a weekend callback at their school. Brown did not do that. Brown only did callbacks that day, and then they'll let you know afterwards. But most schools do a whole weekend callback for the MFAs. And for the BFAs, they'll do a callback that day normally. Sometimes a weekend callback rarely, but mostly that callback that day will tell you like that'll be it. Then you'll have to wait until the very end to know if you got it or not. But I just really want to stress that while this may seem like such an important time in your life, you want to get this school, I completely understand how bad you want to get into school, because maybe you think this school is perfect for you, it's great, it's exactly what you want to do. But if you don't get it, or if you do get it, just know the most important part is actually your audition and that you are proud of it. That's it. They only accept a few people, and if you get in, I'm so proud of you. But if you don't get in, that doesn't mean that you're not talented. That just means that maybe you weren't a good fit for the school at the time. And I know that seems like a cop-out reason, but it's so true. It is so true. Every school is different, and maybe this is just not the school for you. You have no idea. It has nothing to do with your talent, or maybe this is just not the path that you're supposed to be on right then and there. For MFAs, when I did that whole process, even when you get a call back, like, and you feel really happy, sometimes you realize when you're there that that's not the school for you. And it kind of sucks. But like, you just have to realize that they're looking for people that fit their school at this moment in time. And it has nothing to do with whether this person was better than you. You guys could be great, but this person has something that is just ingrained with the school, and it just fits better. So don't leave with your head held down, and don't feel bad or sad. I mean, you're gonna feel sad, but it's okay. Pick yourself up, and you got this, okay? Remember that. So I hope I helped you guys a little bit. I'm gonna do a part 3 to this where I actually talk about the difference between a BFA and an MFA for those of you who are deciding between the two or who just don't know the difference. I'll do that one. It'll be a lot shorter than this one. This is very long, and I'm so sorry, guys. But I hope you have a great day. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and all that jazz. All right?